I recently went to America and we went to Los Angeles, Grand Canyon, Yosemite, and San Francisco. We had such a good time, but when we came back, it took us over a week just to recover, which is why I haven't been posting videos consistently, but I'm so glad to be home. We went away for 3 weeks and I didn't do any shopping at all apart from a few books. This is quite a contrast from what I used to be like 10 years ago. For years, I thought I loved shopping. I was always looking for new clothes, the next designer bag, and a lot of other things that I never actually used. Whereas now, I don't have nearly as much desire for shiny things. And with the money I saved, I'm able to invest it into things that I truly care about. For example, traveling. Today, I'm sharing the habits and mindset shifts that have retrained my brain into wanting less and appreciating so much more. The first habit is, in my opinion, the most effective and the most important step if you want to train your brain to want less, and that is to have a long-term vision. Whenever I feel tempted to buy something, I often pause and imagine my life in 5 to 10 years. And when I do, I tend to picture financial freedom, a clean and calm home with no clutter, a wardrobe I adore, and the flexibility to up and go whenever I feel like traveling or even relocating. This simple mindset shift makes it so much easier to walk away from even the most tempting purchase. I think we all know shopping itself is not evil, but the problem comes when we overdo it so much to the point it becomes a form of distraction. I truly believe no matter where you are in life right now, we all have goals that we aspire to. For you, it might be having the resources to build a business, spending more time with your family, or leaving your day job. Whatever it is, let your long-term vision be the foundation of your spending. Habit number 2 is swapping where you get your dopamine from. Now, if shopping is your main source of excitement, of course you'll keep doing it. You see, even if you have chosen to live a very simple life, humans are wired to crave dopamine because it is a chemical that makes us feel good. But the good news is you have the power to decide where you get your dopamine from. For me, it used to come from very expensive designer shopping, but now I appreciate the simpler things in life way more. For example, walking in nature, enjoying a cup of coffee, having some quiet moments to myself, reading a book, and working on my illustrations. The thing is, there are so many things that can bring us fulfillment, things that we are already doing on a daily basis. But with so many distractions around us, we started to take these small lovely things for granted. But if you just shift your perspectives ever so slightly, you realize dopamine can come from the very simple things. So what I'm saying is, if you can find joy from the small things in life, you won't have to chase dopamine at the expense of your financial future. Something else I want to mention is that I actually get way more dopamine from creating rather than consuming. Whenever I sit down to work on a piece of my illustration, for example, the dopamine I get is way more long-lasting compared to if I bring home a random purchase, even if that purchase is a nice designer bag. This is why I always encourage everyone to take up a hobby. In my case, doing digital illustration doesn't just give me dopamine, it also gives me a sense of purpose. The third habit is something I've been doing for several years and is so effective in cutting down my desire to want more and more things. And this habit is living as if you might move away or relocate in the soon future. In the last few years, we've been traveling quite a bit, and I started exploring the possibility of maybe relocating in the future. And so, even though we don't actually have any plan at the moment, I'm always thinking, If I have to up and go in a few weeks' time, will that be easy enough to do? And that became the framework that I follow every time I want to add something new to my home. Basically, I don't want to tie myself down with a lot of expensive and shiny things, whether it is luxury handbags or designer furniture. Now, I still enjoy owning and using nice things, but I also want to be in a position where I have enough flexibility to experience different parts of the world. And when I'm away, I don't want to have to worry too much about my material possessions. And if one day I really do relocate, hopefully my things will not be too much of a burden to manage. This mindset has changed the way I shop quite a lot. For example, I tend to prefer fine jewelry to handbags because they are quite a lot smaller, so they don't take up a lot of space. Essentially, the idea of moving away has really curated the things I buy, and I love it. Habit number 4 that can train your brain to want less is creating a reverse wish list. This one works really well for me. Instead of listing what I want to buy, I started listing what I'm glad I didn't buy. Over time, the list grew longer and longer. For example, when I was in Japan last year, I was so tempted to buy the Louis Vuitton Matisse East West. And then I went to India over Easter, and there I was really interested in an emerald diamond ring. Both pieces seemed so wonderful at the time, but I'm so glad I didn't cave in. The thing is, I was on a high because I was traveling, so everything seemed so much more amazing anyway. So if I did buy those 2 pieces, they most likely would have been emotional purchases. So I am very thankful for saying no. Another good thing about keeping a reverse wish list is that you can keep a running total of the things you decided not to buy and the money you have saved. Watching the number grow is a huge motivator. In my case, the list is easily worth 5 figures. This is why having a reverse wish list is so powerful, because it shows me that I get to decide what I buy and that I can put myself in the driving seat when it comes to shopping and spending. Habit number 5 is to be very specific with what you choose not to spend your money on. Doing this is incredibly helpful because it will help you streamline your shopping once and for all. In my case, there are so many things I don't buy anymore. For example, high heels, souvenirs, gym membership, special occasion shopping, outlet shopping, and more. This means I never really look for these things to buy to begin with, so there's really no temptation for me to deal with. It's a bit like when you tell yourself you're not a smoker, you will not be tempted to buy cigarettes. And that brings me to habit number 6 to train your brain to want less, and that is limiting your exposure to temptations. Generally, social media is a place full of temptations, but the one that tests my willpower the very most has always been Instagram. I think Instagram is probably the most curated platform out there because you only get to see the very exciting moments. And I very much speak for myself as well. You see, I'm not very active on Instagram at all, and I only go on it when I have something interesting or exciting to share. For example, when I travel to a new place. With that in mind, I started paying a lot more attention to how I consume social media, and I especially avoid Instagram. And somewhere along the way, when I decided to really focus on achieving financial freedom, I stopped watching unboxing videos altogether because I didn't want to subject myself to temptations. With time, low buy became a norm for me and even something that I get a sense of satisfaction from. Another habit that has tricked me into wanting less is always taking into consideration the space and maintenance that every single item will eventually need. To give you a simple example, in Disneyland, you see a lot of people wearing those very adorable headbands. Personally, I've never felt the temptation to get one because I know when I get home, I'll have no use for it. And until I go to Disneyland again, this adorable headband will just sit there collecting dust. This is why I don't buy souvenirs. When I look at a keyring, for example, I don't just think, oh wow, this is a lovely keyring. In the back of my head, I'm actually asking myself questions like, where will I put this? Do I even need a keyring? Or will this just become another piece of clutter in a few weeks' time? And when it comes to my wardrobe, the main question I like to ask myself is, do I like this enough to want to spend my time and energy to take care of it? In the past, I was always thinking about adding yet another hard-to-get Hermes handbag to my collection. Whereas now, after experiencing some wear and tear on my pieces, my mindset has changed a lot. Now, I still enjoy my bags, but looking after these pieces does take time, energy, and money, which means the more you have, the more work you have. So when you look at every potential purchase with a more practical eye, excessive shopping will not seem so much like a novelty anymore. Wanting less doesn't mean you are depriving yourself. It just means you are free from the constant chase. And the funny thing is, the moment I stopped chasing more and more, that's when my life started to become so much more fulfilling. In the comments, please let me know if you have tried any of these habits before or if you have anything interesting to share. Thank you so much for being here. Take care and I will see you soon.